Hey everybody, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at this new TVA Pruning Wand from the Deadpool trailers. This is becoming one of my favorite props that I've made in a while because I did a little bit of embellishing so that, yeah, it lights up, makes some noises, and gets brighter when it's struck, like a lightsaber. So I really wanted to work on one of these pruning wands from the TVA. Now I love the Loki series, fantastic. I love that it looks like they're going to be bringing them into the movies with Deadpool. And I modeled this one after the Deadpool version. And you can get this, the files for this and the new TVA uniform, the sort of metal parts, over on my website, 3dprintedprops.com. There's a coupon code below. And I said I want to really tackle this one because I just think it has such a cool design. It reminds me very much of like you know, almost like lightsabers in the fact that, well, it's like a sword or like a wand, but it looks like it's got like different pieces from different things. Like this could easily be something from a camera, the grip, the middle section here. This is made of wood, which is a neat sort of throwback to like an old material that the TVA kind of had in the movies or in the show, that sort of 60s vibe. So I really thought this would be a fun prop to work on. And I decided to make my life a lot harder by putting guts in here to make this thing electronic. So when you flip the switch, it takes a second to power up. The LCD light up. It's making some noise. Put it by the mic. So this sort of mystical noise, I could turn that off if I want. If you bump it, it makes some noise and it lights up, it gets brighter. So you can see how it gets brighter. So very cool. Now, I'm not good enough with this stuff to come up with that on my own on how to program this. Luckily enough, I went over to Adafruit, which is an amazing site for learning and to buy electronics for this and other things. And I looked up lightsabers, and it ended up popping up a TVA wand that they did. Theirs is more chunky and it doesn't look sort of as close to the realistic version of it. But they had the shopping list, the program, the code, the wiring diagram. I had to tweak the wiring diagram quite a bit, just not really quite a bit, but to lengthen some of the wires, and I had to move some stuff around. But either way, it was all right there. So I ordered everything off their list and downloaded their code and was able to create this. I'll put a link to that as well. There's a feather in here, a feather maker, and we were going to show that in some of the video that does all of this stuff, and it's just really cool. It's one of my favorite new things because A, I'm really happy with the paint job, and B, the electronics are really, really neat. So let's go ahead behind the fake wall and I will show you how I printed, painted, and wired this thing up. Now there were a couple weird little problems that happened, which always do when you print something and don't intend to wire it. You've got to sort of drill holes and do things. I'm going to update the file so it's a little bit more friendly if you want to wire this, but you probably still have to do a little bit of tweaking if you use any different parts. You might not use the same parts as I used, but the file will be tweaked so that it's a little bit more hollow in some of the places that I didn't make it because I didn't think I was going to wire it, and then I changed my mind. All right, so let's go behind the fake wall and get working on this thing because it was a lot of fun. Okay, so the parts are looking pretty clean. I love this clear part. The detail on this is very, very cool. Again, when you're dealing with resin, you cannot beat the detail that you can get with a print, and everything's fitting together really, really nicely. And there we go, pop right through. Now, I did have to sort of tweak some of these parts because I didn't think I was going to wire it up, but then I did. So I drilled some holes in it and cleared some things out. But in the end, now I can actually wire it up. And this is what I'm talking about with the detail. Look at how crisp that is. You can read everything. It is just sweet. I love how that looks. But we do need to do some sanding. There's some support dimples and divots. And since they're so small, I'm really just going to go, and don't forget your mask, with a 320 and then a 400 to just really hit the areas where there are support bumps, because everything else is just so smooth I'm not even going to bother. I went ahead and primed it with a 2-in-1 primer, and then went ahead and painted everything up. Gloss for some of the parts, a gloss black, and this sort of nickel metal look for these parts. Again, going off the reference, really happy with the paint job. Then we're going to peel off this tape that we put on, and I'm going to paint this silver because the detail on it, on the reference, it's silver. So there we go. I like that. And I don't know if it's a silver, but maybe like a pewter. I don't know. So I'm using these inks. They're transparent because I looked at the references and I realized this isn't just cleared, it's a orange color. So I went ahead and used these transparent so that the LED would still shine through. Yes, you could have tinted the resin, but this worked out just as well and was really happy with it. So some of these are going to get a satin clear and some are going to get a gloss clear. This way, you really help differentiate between the metals. So these got a satin, the black's got a gloss, and then I just went in and hit some of these details that I looked at in the reference, making sure not to try to get paint on the things I've already spray painted. Now it's time for the handle. And this is sort of like really fun for me to do because it's creating this metal look. I'm just using these basic paints, these different raw siennas and browns, and I'm using a chip brush. It's just a cheap brush, and if you can see here, it goes ahead and it gives you those wooden sort of texture lines that you would get because the bristles are all jagged in different lengths. I'm picking up different amounts of paint in different areas. I'm working fast so that I'm not making anything uniform. I'm making sure things are sort of just loose. And I'm building up tones here. And that's what you're doing when you're doing this kind of thing, kind of like weathering, where you're starting with like a base tone and then you're building it up. So the sort of the light color that was the base paint is there showing through. Then we go with this darker sort of walnut looking paint, and then I'm going with a more of a burnt sienna with a little bit of red in it to really give it some more depth. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to build depth. You're varying the amount of paint you're putting on there via the brush and the tones. And I could not be more happy with how that turned out. And when I hit it with the satin, I'm doing a little bit more. I totally forgot. This is where I sort of started to overwork it. This is more of like a yellow color. I stopped, but I still was really happy with it. And this is with that satin. And look at that. That looks like a table leg. I'm going to say I'm pretty proud of that one. Now I'm just going ahead and actually scraping some of the paint off so that I can go ahead and get ready for gluing. And for the electronics, I used Adafruit. Believe it or not, they've got a project they made with a TVA wand. So I was able to look at all the products I needed to buy and the wiring diagrams and download the code. The products came in, super happy with it. This prop maker is amazing. It does so many things. This is the brain. It's the feather. M4 Express. We've got a nice bright LED. Believe it or not, this is a speaker and a fairly loud one. I was quite surprised. It is tiny. We got a battery here that'll last forever, a switch we're going to not end up using, and a bunch of wires and headers and things. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my soldering iron, and I love this thing. The best thing I ever did was buy a decent soldering iron because soldering isn't easy when you're first starting out. And someone gave me the advice, buy a good soldering iron, and it made all the difference. Of course, everything I use in these videos are listed below. I actually printed that little vise out because I thought it would come in handy for this project. And I'm just going through and soldering these headers on, both of these, the M4 feather and the cosplay chip, so they can be sandwiched together. I've now gone ahead and wired up the LED, and it plugs in right here, and it strings through these connectors that I sort of cobbed together, which is, probably not the best thing, but I went ahead and hot glued those and then taped them so that they would stay together. They're not going anywhere, trust me. I then clipped off these edges, and I'm soldering this part, the LED, to the RGB and power on the feather, or not the feather, the cosplay maker, which is just a cool chip because this thing will do, or prop maker. This thing does lighting, it does sound, it has a, listen to that. I was so happy when that came on. And it has a thing where if you hit it, it will change the sound, it will change the brightness. It is pretty amazing little chip in everything it does. You can hear, I hit it, it does that. I hit it a little bit harder, the light gets brighter, and you can tweak the code to make it less sensitive or more sensitive. Either way, pretty neat. I stuck this in a box, and I'm going to get ready to glue up this thing and start adding the electronics. Now, since I didn't have this sort of created thinking I was going to wire it, I did have to drill some holes, like I said earlier, to be able to feed things through. And you will have to do that as well. I am getting ready to maybe have this redone so I can, you don't have to drill holes, but for now you'll have to drill holes if you're going to do this. And I'm just feeding things through. I had to actually go ahead and make some of the wires a little longer. I kind of screwed up and didn't make them long enough. I put a little bit of foam in there so that the LED would sit a little bit tighter. And I'm just testing it. I've got it plugged in to make sure none of my connections broke. Now here's the different switch, because that switch I got was like a momentary switch and it just would not work for this. So I got this little switch that I thought kind of looked retro for the thing, and I think it really, really fit. Now, for the edges, for the ends I need to pop things off of, I went ahead and put electrical tape on it so that it would become more of a snug fit, because I want to be able to get the top off in case I need to change the LED, which I'll never have to, and I wanted to be able to get the bottom off because I needed to charge the battery. And now it's a question of shoving everything into here and making sure I don't dislodge a wire. And now we're going to just tuck the battery in. And it wouldn't fit. I knew it wasn't going to because I kind of measured everything, but it does fit through the bottom. And using that electrical tape allows me to put it on there really snug and then take it off. Now here it is, all lit up. I was so happy with all the details on this. It was just an incredibly fun build, and I just love it. So as you can see, things happen. I thought I was going to be able to use one switch, but in my limited knowledge of how switches work and how wiring works, it didn't. And then I realized my mistake, and I said, oh, that's why that doesn't work. And I went ahead and just pivoted and just changed the switch up. Now, I don't think the switch looks like this. I think it's probably like a push button, but I kind of dig it because it has that old school 60s vibe to it, like this manual flick switch that goes ahead and turns the thing on. That I just kind of, I like it. So I'm happy I went with it. And maybe I have a different model, an older model on the TVA floor. Maybe I'm a new guy, so they gave me an older stick. But other than that, I mean, I tell you, I'm super happy with the paint job. This is probably one of the best wood paint jobs I've ever done. My son thought it was a table leg upstairs. He said, what did this come off of? And I said, I just painted it. And he actually looked surprised and proud of me, which you don't get very often from a 19-year-old kid. So that made me happy. All right, guys. I hope you liked the video. I know I did enjoy making this, and it is definitely one of my new favorite props. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next video.